Have you been hitting the gym as hard as ever, trying to make all those gains, but for some reason you hit a plateau and you just don't know why? This video will explain it to you. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? James Owens here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy Monday. I hope everyone's doing great. I had a very great weekend. Right now I'm just sipping my coffee. I'm ready to talk to you guys about why you may or potentially may not be making any more progress in the gym. The sole focus of this video will kind of be talking about that, specifically deloading and what deloading is, and then I'll also give you guys an update on like how I'm doing prep, how that's going with me being 3 weeks out. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope this helps. If it does, please leave likes, leave comments, interact with me a little bit, and I will catch you all in the end of the video. So first and foremost, I used to be the type of, I guess, athlete to train Sunday through Saturday, 7 days a week, hours and hours a day in the gym. And sure, like I was fairly lean. I had, a fairly decent amount of muscle in comparison to the average person. But for some reason, I just wasn't making progress like I wanted to in the gym, and I had no idea why. It wasn't until recently, maybe like within the last 2 or 3 years, I started working with a coach that I was introduced to something called deloading. Simply put, deloading is taking a period of time in which you back off on sets, you back off on overall volume, and instead of taking like a full consecutive days off at the gym, you take about a week, still going to the gym, still lifting weights, but the volume and the load, including the weight of the load, is reduced significantly. One, this gives you the opportunity to continue to go to the gym. We all go to the gym for different reasons, but it keeps you in the gym, it keeps you active, but it does give your body a break from being exposed to so much volume over an extended period of time. Being extremely transparent here, once I started deloading, I actually started to see more progress in my physique, started to see more progress in my strength and my overall muscle density, and I started to grow more in the gym physically, and just being just coming into the gym with a different perspective and just developing my muscle better as I started to deload. So kind of breaking it down, my experience with deloading. In the past, what I would typically do, or my coach would typically plan in my training block, is I would work out for about 3 to 4 weeks consecutively, about 4 times a day, broken down. We can just break it down, push, pull, legs. So I would do 2 push sessions, a pull and a leg session, 4 days a week. And then after the 4th week, as load increased over week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, that 5th week, or that week following the 4th week, we'd actually conduct a deload week. That deload week would consist of doing the same exercises, the same movements, but we would drop the sets down to like 1 set, maybe 2 sets, and then we would drop the weight. Typically I would split the weight in half, and then the volume or the rep range would be, away from muscle failure, like far away from muscle failure, right? We still want to get under the weight, we still want to push the weight, but we're not trying to get to muscle failure. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, this gives your body, one, it keeps you in the gym, so you stay active. It kind of communicates with your body like, hey, I still need you to stay up on this weight, but I'm not gonna, run you to the ground. I'm not gonna go for hypertrophy. I'm not going to absolutely destroy you in the gym, but I still want you to be comfortable with the weight. That's pretty much what the deload week is telling your body. And then mixed with sleep and food and things like that, it actually gives your body some time to recover, keeping it away from so much volume over an extended period of time. Another approach to devolume or to deload is you could just take multiple days off the gym. A lot of people think, if I'm not going to the gym, am I being productive? Am I being proactive? When ideally rest is just as important as the amount of effort that you put in the gym. So if you're not giving your body enough time to recover, your body, the protein synthesis isn't happening, the carbs isn't refueling your muscles fast enough, and you're not giving your body enough time to kind of recover from the previous workout before going into a new workout. So your productivity is going to be low, your output is going to be low, and your training isn't going to be optimal. So if you haven't rest or taking an extended rest, I'm talking 3 maybe 4 days in a long time, but you see your progress kind of going down a little bit, I highly recommend you either taking a deload week, as we discussed a little bit earlier, you backing off the weight, backing off the volume, backing off the sets, still doing the same exercise you typically do, staying in the gym, staying active, but backing off the volume. I extremely recommend you doing that. Or if you're the type of person like, hey, I just want to take a couple days off at the gym, maybe focus on some hobbies, focus on my relationships, focus on other things in life for a couple of days, I think that's a good opportunity for you to do so also. Aside from deloading, obviously you want to make sure you're getting enough sleep. Sleep is something that a lot of people don't necessarily pay attention to. It's obviously recommended to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day or within a 24-hour period. And that includes, you can take naps throughout the day if you don't typically take naps. Anything that involves you kind of just resting and not exerting a lot of energy, you should definitely start thinking about those things and incorporating those things into your daily life so that you're able to recover and you're able to give your maximum effort when you go to the gym. Recently, something I've started doing, and I'm trying to stay on top of it a little bit more. I have a sports massage therapist, or a sports therapist now. She helps me out. She gives me advice on like how to better take care of my body. That involves like stretching, getting actual massages. She does a couple of different techniques when I go to see her. So, she does the cupping. I've seen people do like the dry needle and things like that. Ice baths I hear are pretty good, as well as the sauna. So I think you should definitely do some research and just see different ways. If you're the type like, hey, I have to go to the gym, I can't not be in the gym. Try to figure out ways to incorporate those methods of rest or those methods of recovery while you're in the gym. I know most commercial gyms have saunas. I've seen a couple of commercial gyms actually have like the ice baths or like the beds that has like the temperature regulation things on them. Definitely try those things out. But I think the biggest one that a lot of people overlook is just deloading and like devoluming their workout sessions. You don't always have to go to the gym and do 12 sets, 20 reps each and just go on balls to wall all the time. There's actually room within your training, or there's room for optimizing your training that encompasses resting and recovery. So definitely think about adding those deload weeks if you haven't thought about adding those deload weeks in. As I mentioned, the last 2 to 3 years I've grown a lot from when I first started training, and I never deloaded. I worked out 7 days a week. I'm talking like I would do like 8 sets of like 20 reps of anything, right? And for an extended period of time, that takes a huge toll on your body. So you definitely should think about adding those rest periods or those extended breaks. If that means you staying at home or not going to the gym at all for a couple of days in a row, or if that means just taking 1 week to just deload, back off the volume, back off sets, and back off reps. So how is prep going for me being officially 3 weeks out? Prep is going great, actually. I hit a new low yesterday, I believe. I was 168 pounds. Last year, I was on stage at 163. So my coach and I feel extremely comfortable where we are right now at 3 weeks out. We haven't, dehydrated yet. We haven't cut water or anything like that yet. And we're roughly about 5 pounds over stage weight at 3 weeks out. These next 2 weeks we'll up some cardio, maybe, take away a little bit more food for these next 2 weeks, these next 2.5 weeks. But we do plan on stepping on stage around the same weight as last time. We've noticed a lot of changes in my physique. I just look a little bit better. I look a little bit fuller, have a little bit more muscle development this time around. So the goal is the same, right? We want to get first place in our class, and then we definitely want to battle for the overall. I am doing the Ben Weider's Natural Pro Amateur Show, which means if I win my class and I win the overall, I get my pro card in the NPC and I become a natural IFBB pro. So obviously that's the goal here. This is my 3rd show in my entire, bodybuilding career, and this is my 2nd show with my current coach, and we've already blown our physique from last year out of the water, and that's awesome. We had about a 7-month, 8-month off season, not a full year, but we had a really good off season to include the recomp post show from 2022. But this year I think we made a lot of changes to the muscle groups that were lagging. We focused a lot on upper chest this year. Last year, some of the feedback I got from the judges was, bring in that upper chest. Also, I think we peaked a little bit too early last year. When I got on stage, I still looked and felt a little bit flat. The day before, I looked pretty good. but the day after, we had like a weird timestamp with the show where, you know, they called us backstage to pump up, but we didn't get on stage for like 30 minutes. So pumped up a little bit early and I started to go a little bit flat. I mean, everybody did, right? Everybody in my class did. So definitely good learning points from last year. We gathered a lot of data from last year that we were able to implement this year. So it's really good, man. I'm super excited. Like I said, this is my second show with my current coach. And I mean, we're excited about, you know, what we're going to bring this year, and I hope you guys are too. I appreciate everybody for all the support. Thanks always for tuning in, whether it's here on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, you can at Majin_Duke. That's MAJIN_Duke. I typically update my Instagram daily, whether it's on my story or whether it's on my feed, kind of just like my physique updates leading up until my show. Also, if you're looking for coaching, my coach is an amazing coach. He works for Gifted Performance. If you follow me on Instagram, you can follow them based off my Instagram, and I'll also leave their link in my description, like the description. I don't even want to call it a description box. It's not even a box. It's just like the description of this video. I have multiple links up there, including supplements and coaching as well. So make sure you guys check those links out if you're looking for coaching. Also, I am going to be doing some posing coaching starting next year, January, early next year. I've gotten a lot of feedback. A lot of people like the way that I pose, and I've been practicing a lot. You know, when I first started bodybuilding, my posing was absolutely terrible, and I didn't have, you know, anyone that I could necessarily lean on to help me with my posing. I had friends who also competed. Some pros reach out to me and tell me, you know, things that I could do to better my posing, but I've never actually had like a posing coach. So I think it's a good space to be in for me. I don't have a lot of time to be like a full-time coach, but you know, 30 minutes here for individuals who need a little bit of help with their posing, that's something that I have time for and that I'm interested in and willing to do to kind of give back to the fitness community. So if you guys are interested in posing, stay tuned for that. I will be having, you know, I will be kind of advertising it up until January, and then starting January, I'll be taking on posing clients. I'm thinking about doing about $20 for a 30-minute session, and that's just every session. No monthly fees, no subscriptions, no like $100 down, none of that craziness. Just if you need a session done, you hit me up, whether it's on Instagram or whether it's here on YouTube, maybe my email. You just hit me up and say, hey man, I would love to do like a 30-minute session with you. $20, quick time payment, and then we'll do 30 minutes, whether it's on FaceTime or whether it's on like some type of video call. And then if you're local and you're watching my YouTube here in North Carolina, we could definitely work out something where we can kind of do it in person. We can get a posing session done in person. But thank you all for tuning in. Before I go, I do want to give a shout out to Iron Willed Clothing. I absolutely love this brand. I am not sponsored by them yet. It's actually a goal of mine. They did like an athlete search back in earlier this month when they did their fall drop, actually their collection drop. I copped a bunch of stuff from their fall drop. And then they also had like an athlete search, so I applied for that. So if you guys really want to support me and help me out, just go to my Instagram, interact with me. You know, they just want to see that I have like a really good community around me. So definitely interact with me on Instagram. Let me know what you guys think of the apparel. And as soon as I get a discount code, you guys will be the first to find out. Also, I do want to give a big shout out to a supplement brand that I am sponsored by, and that's Madhouse Supplements. This is their one scooper pre-workout. This stuff hits. I'm telling you, I get the best pumps. I get the best energy. Sometimes I actually only take one, like a half scoop of this, and then they have a non-stim pre-workout that I stack with it. But for the most part, if you're looking for a juicy pump, if you're looking for like super, you know, energy, and you just want to get energized and you want to kind of like feel those itchies and stuff like that, this one scooper is definitely for you. There's 400 milligrams of caffeine in this one scoop, so I don't recommend taking in any caffeine throughout the day if you know you're going to take this. But I do like to have my cups of coffee throughout the day. So in anticipation of taking using this, I only take half a scoop. I mix it with the full scoop of the non-stim, and then my stack is typically their creatine, the non-stim, and then this stuff. But I definitely wanted to give a shout out to Madhouse. You can use my discount code DukeFitness20. It will give you 20% off, and like I said, I will leave the link in the description as well, so you can check out some Madhouse supplements. But like I said, man, this stuff is awesome. I get a great jolt of energy, and then the flavors are absolutely amazing. I do love their peach blast flavor, but I'll definitely try something next time, try a different flavor out and see how much I like it. Also, we do have a protein powder coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. You can still use my discount code DukeFitness20 on their website, and you'll get 20% off your entire order. If you do use my discount code and you order something from Madhouse Supplements, make sure you DM me on Instagram, send me the screenshot, and I'll make sure I give you guys a shout out or something like that, so you guys get recognized for using my discount code. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope this video was very informational for you guys and it helped out. Remember, if you have been hitting the gym for an extended period of time, you haven't made much progress, and maybe you feel like you're stalling or you're plateauing, think about taking those deloads, man. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. There's nothing wrong with kind of relaxing and kind of unwinding a little bit, giving your muscles and your body and your mind that time to kind of just recover, and then you can just, you know, use that time to focus on other things. Like, I'm married, I have a wife, you know, so bodybuilding consumes a lot of our lives, you know. It takes up a lot of our time. We can't necessarily have all the family time that we want, especially if we're prepping and it's during the holidays, birthdays. Sometimes we don't get to experience all of those things with our family members and our loved ones. So if you can take time in your off season or take time away from your training just for a couple of days, you know, make sure those deload weeks and those interactive days mesh a little bit. Take that week off, take that time off, and then try to, you know, put your mind and put your effort into some of the other things in life, you know, whether that's your relationships, your other hobbies, and things like that. So I really do appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure you check the links out in my description box or my video description. Thank you all for tuning in. Love you guys. I appreciate all the support, all the help. Happy Monday. Crush the week. All the goals that you have, you're able to crush them. You just got to put that effort in. I'll catch you guys in the next video.